If you have a spare $25,000 in your bank account right now, what would you use it for? Maybe you'd buy a brand new car, or put a down payment on a house, or travel the world and see the sights. Or, if you want, you could use that $25,000 for a one-night stay at the Burj Al Arab's Royal Suite. The Burj Al Arab is a symbol of Dubai like the Eiffel Tower is for Paris or the Empire State Building is for New York. It was the tallest hotel in the world when it was finished in 1999, and it's now the 5th tallest hotel in the world. It is a 5-star hotel, the highest official rank for a hotel, not a 7-star hotel, which was a label started by a journalist. It cost more than $1 billion to construct, one of the most expensive hotel projects in the world, because it is built on a man-made island, and also because of the expensive interior design and decorations. It took 5 years for this unique, sailboat-shaped designed hotel to be completed in time for the new millennium, January 2000, as was demanded by Sheikh Mohammed, the Prime Minister of the UAE. The first 3 years was spent building the island and the hotel, with the hired British architectural and engineering firm overcoming the unique design challenges with ingenious solutions. And the remaining 2 years was spent on finishing the interior of the hotel in time for opening day. There was no shortage of waterfront land in Dubai to build the hotel on, but the Sheikh loves his man-made islands, like the Palm Islands and Globe Islands, which are now sinking, so he just had to have the Burj built on its own island, connected to the shore with its own private bridge. This would require some engineering brilliance to make the hotel safe from the giant Arabian Gulf storms and waves. Engineer Mike McNicholas came up with the idea to use specially designed hollow concrete blocks placed in a honeycomb pattern all around the island, which caused waves to turn around on themselves and slow down instead of crashing onto the island. There were many other engineering and design challenges when building the island and the hotel, such as excavating sand from the middle of the island without water seeping in and securing the foundation with steel and concrete. Building and erecting the hotel's exoskeleton, containing 11 5-ton dampeners which sway opposite to the movement of the hotel to keep it stable from high winds and earthquakes. Enclosing the building in a fabric sail wall, the largest of its kind in the world. Slowly cooling the internal temperature of the hotel gradually over 6 months to avoid condensation and liquid damage to the interior. And suspending the Skyview restaurant, which extends nearly 100 feet over the sea. So after 3 years, the architectural, engineering, and construction teams all did an incredible job at building the island and the hotel, which looks like a giant sailboat floating on the water. Now there were 2 years to finish the interior. The Burj was to be a major symbol of Dubai, the Sheikh's baby, his pride and joy, so the interior had to impress just as much as the exterior. And to make this happen, he had to find an interior designer who would do as good of a job for the inside as the architect did for the outside. The Sheikh's team decided on hiring interior designer Khuan. Khuan was born in Malaysia and then moved to London to study design and eventually opened her studio there. The Sheikh wanted her as the designer because in the 80s, she was the interior designer for the Sultan of Brunei's palace, one of the largest residential palaces in the world. And so if she had experience designing for Brunei royalty, then she should be a good choice to design for Dubai royalty. When she was hired for the job, her and her office of 50 designers all dropped what they were doing to focus fully on the Burj Al Arab, so I'm guessing they were paid a pretty decent penny. The Sheikh's team instructed her to amaze and shock the world, to make the interior innovative, something that had never been designed before and will never be designed again, to make the Burj like a modern Arab palace. So if you were hired as the interior designer with a nearly unlimited oil money budget, what kind of materials would you buy? Well, Khuan did what many would and bought the most expensive things like marble, gold, and crystal. She got over 24,000 square meters, which is about the size of 3 soccer fields, of statuario marble imported from Italy, the same type of marble that Michelangelo used to sculpt his masterpieces such as David. She got over 8,000 square meters, which is about the size of 1 soccer field, of 22-karat gold to use for gold-plated fixtures, columns, and other highlights around the hotel. And she really wasn't skimping because 22 karat is nearly pure gold. Most gold jewelry like gold rings use 14 karat gold. 24 karat is pure gold, but it is too soft, so she opted for the absolute best gold for building materials, which is 22 karat gold. A crystal chandelier was hung in every room, of course, including one of the world's largest crystal chandeliers in the atrium, as well as a giant chandelier in the cocktail bar. The floors are lined with marble, mosaic, and gold leaf tiles, as well as plush carpet with a myriad of colors and patterns. And the walls are covered with wallpaper of various textures and colors, including gold and silver to create a shimmering effect. The Burj Al Arab's atrium is the second highest atrium in the world, standing at 180 meters tall. Khuan decided to go minimalist to keep it all white and let the unique architecture speak for itself, but when the sheikh saw it, he was upset, saying it was too plain and needed more color and richness. So Khuan and her team added a light show on the fabric wall, dancing fountains, vast fish tanks filled with exotic fish, and a rainbow of colors up the atrium. When it came to choosing the colors and patterns for the rooms and hallways, it seems like Khuan and the Sheikh's advisors couldn't make up their mind, so they used all of them. Mostly from Royal and Arabian color palettes, which include a lot of gold, purple, blue, red, hot pink, orange, and did I say gold? The minimalist beauty of the hotel's exterior does not match with the color-crazy rooms, which look like they were designed by Homer Simpson with an unlimited budget.
The Homer.
I'm not alone with this opinion. Many reviewers call the interior design loud, garish, gaudy, tacky, bizarre, an assault on the eyes, and even hideous. Some defend it by saying it is in the traditional Arabian design style. I'm personally more of a fan of Japanese or Scandinavian interior design styles, which are simple, subtle, gentle, inspired by nature with a color palette of grays, browns, greens, beige, and light blues. These colors are calming, soothing, approachable, and appropriate for a hotel room where you want guests to be at peace. But in the Burj Al Arab, it's a minimalist nightmare, with dizzying carpets and wallpaper that look like you are trapped in a kaleidoscope. And it's not just the colors, but the furniture and fixtures they pack into the rooms. Tall, throne-like chairs in shades of red, gold, and hot pink sit around a circular table reminiscent of Knights of the Round Table. Heavy, swagged curtains that look like they're from a haunted mansion and make you wonder how often they're washed. A large globe, perfect for planning world domination. Leopard print, used on pillows, ottomans, and carpets, was trendy in the 80s but now is a favorite among escorts and streetwalkers. A fake sky ceiling. Candelabras that look like they're from Beast's castle.
This is Lumiere.
Enchanté, chérie.
If there's something.
The kitchen is very plain looking, but that is because it is for the staff, not the guests. Multiple bathrooms per suite, each in a different style, including a gold bathroom and more colorful bathrooms. Marble columns in the bathroom. A gold coffee machine. A ton of chairs and sofas to sit on, but they all look like they belong in a museum or antique dealer. And with all those seats and pillows, I have to wonder, have they been well cleaned between guests? There's also a large mirror on the ceiling above the bed, which was a trend in love hotels in the 70s. One of the main reasons why a room at the hotel is so expensive is because each room is so big. Each one of the 202 rooms has 2 floors. The smallest room is a massive 170 square meters, which is about 1,800 square feet, so these base rooms in the Burj would be considered presidential suites at most other hotels. This base 170 square meter room will run you about $2,000 per night, depending on when you go. If you want a bigger suite, you can book a $2,500 per night club suite, which is 330 square meters, or about 3,600 square feet, across 2 floors, and comes complete with a spacious bar and snooker table. A 2-bedroom diplomatic suite is twice as big, spanning 670 square meters, or about 7,200 square feet, across 2 floors, featuring a private bar, 3 separate living spaces, a private dining space, and will cost about $3,000 per night. Or you can get a presidential suite, which has floor-to-ceiling windows, an exclusive pre-function area, 2 separate lounges, 2 bar areas, a spacious private dining area, his and her dressing rooms, and is about $20,000 per night. At the top of the list is the Royal 2-bedroom suite, spanning 780 square meters, or about 8,400 square feet, over 2 floors, and comes with an exclusive pre-function area, 2 separate lounges, 2 bar areas, a spacious private dining area, his and her dressing rooms, 5 bathrooms, a cinema room, private elevator, a grand staircase with leopard print carpets, and a rotating canopy bed, which looks like it could be a kid's toy for playing princes and princesses. If you want to spend a night in the Royal Suite, you'll have to fork over about $25,000 per night, which makes it one of the most expensive hotel rooms in the world. Celebs who have stayed there include Justin Bieber, Selena Gomez, Roger Federer, Wayne Rooney, Nelson Mandela, and Bill Clinton. When the suite is unoccupied, the hotel offers tours for $100, so us common folk can have a glimpse at the luxury. And while the $25,000 price is crazy, it's not the world's most expensive hotel room. That title goes to the $100,000 a night Royal Mansion Suite at the Atlantis in Dubai, as well as the $100,000 a night Empathy Suite at the Palms Casino Resort in Las Vegas. Other indulgences at the Burj Al Arab include Hermes bath products, and not the typical small plastic bottle size in most hotels. These are full glass bottles, free to take home. The pillow menu, which includes 17 different pillows to choose from for your perfect night's rest. Being able to order a $26 gold cappuccino, which is topped with Italian gold flakes. Being able to order a $7,500 cocktail made with 55-year-old whiskey and served in an 18-karat gold glass. Enjoying a meal at one of the hotel's fine dining restaurants, which costs an average of $430 per person, or choosing the top treatment at the hotel spa called the Romantic Moonlight Swim, which costs $5,000 and includes a 90-minute massage followed by 3 hours in the pool, all for yourself and a partner, with flower petals floating on top. There's also the private terrace beach resort, which is 10,000 square meters, or over 107,000 square feet, behind the hotel. Just a 5-minute walk or complimentary shuttle from the hotel is Wild Wadi Water Park. Burj guests get unlimited access, of course, and has a variety of water slides, wave pools, and other attractions. And to get transported from the Dubai International Airport to the hotel and back, the Burj has a fleet of luxury vehicles chauffeured by professional drivers, including Bentley, Ferrari, and Rolls-Royce. If traveling by car is beneath you, you can travel by helicopter for about $3,000 each way and lets you experience landing on the Burj's helipad, which they have used for promoting the hotel with stunts like pro tennis players, Formula One car donuts, and plane landings. As of July 2024, there are over 28,000 Google reviews of the Burj Al Arab, with a 4.7 out of 5 star rating, which is a very high rating for a hotel on Google reviews. Many say the service is outstanding, with a large number of personal staff and private butlers for each guest, eager to make them feel pampered and to address their every concern. Reviewers also praise the architecture of the hotel, the views, the world-class amenities, and the private beach terrace resort. Many reviewers mention the interior design of the rooms not being their style, but most overlook this as they get the intention is to be over the top. So would you want to stay at the Burj? Have you stayed there? Are you a fan of the interior design? Let me know in the comments. And as always, if you enjoy this video, make sure you're subscribed and check out my other videos where I laugh at ridiculously expensive hotel rooms and other places in the world you should visit or avoid.